3, 2, 1. Ooh.
No, that was hot. That was good.
Okay.
You're so lagging, Clay.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah, I'm not lagging on my end, nor are you guys lagging for me on my
Only
end.
matters
Okay.
for
I
mine,
don't know.
and you're lagging.
It's not really a whole lot I can do about that.
What is that? How come it's only when you're
I mean,
recording? It's just the computer.
That is weird. I mean, I just streamed and it was totally fine too, so I have no idea.
Well, fuck it. Welcome back, everyone. It's Beyond the Pine, and you already know it's your boys, your cute little boys, your little fishmongers, right? We're professional fishermen. We catch
fishmonger,
fish,
dude.
we sell fish, we eat fish. We're all about fish here at Beyond
We
the Pine.
eat fish.
And we've
What's
got a
your
very special
favorite?
guest. Shut the fuck up, Brett.
You gotta wait till the. You
gotta-
gotta wait till he
I gotta-
introduces you. You got James is really hot today, Brett, and James is he's gotta get a couple words out.
Okay,
And then he runs.
okay,
He gets a little
look.
tired. He gets hungry, and then he settles down a little bit.
Thank you.
I promise.
We have a very special guest today. It's
Brett from Chow Chow.
from Chow
I'm
Chow.
sorry, I stole your thunder.
It's Brett Hungry.
Brett.
Wait,
Hi.
no. It's Victory Royale Brett now.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
That's right. Dubs.
Big time.
Dubs only for
Dude.
me.
Brett, welcome back, dude. It's been too long since we've had you. It's been too long since I've been inside you.
Oh, yeah, all those things are true. I was just thinking about the last time I was on the show. We were all, it was like a wounded podcast. And now
Yeah,
we've
that
all-
was a great podcast, dude. We all opened up and like helped
Wow.
each other heal with shit.
And now we've all gone on to launch new things.
and
You
better
shot a
things.
movie. You've got all this new music. I punched a guy. You know, we did it.
Yeah.
You not only punched him,
I
you won
want
by
to,
decision.
That's right.
You-
That is true.
I want to jump fucking right into it, Brett. I love you, and I'm so happy you're here. And I was so excited to see that you were fighting in the Creator Clash from the moment I found out to watching it. I just watched the whole thing. Of course, I wasn't going to pay for it, so I waited till it was out.
You watched it on
for
1, 2,
free.
3 movies.
You said fuck charity.
Fuck charity. I'm the charity, dude.
Oh.
And I watched it, and I was so
cried.
incredibly proud and impressed. And tell us about what it was like to be in the ring, and then we'll go backwards. What was the fight like? Could you taste it?
I could
Tell us what it was
taste
like.
it.
Tell us what it's like now, and then go backwards in time to the end of the fight, and then go to the beginning of the fight, and then go all the way to training.
Yeah.
Now it's like I have COVID, which I do, and all of the excitement of the last 6 months has had all of the color and volume turned down, and now I'm just back at my house.
And taste.
Yeah. Well, that's also true. The virus is contributing to that. Although I can taste. I'm fine. I can smell and I can taste. Anyways, the aftermath's kind of a bitch, because you're kind of like, damn, now what am I supposed to do? Just like
Interesting.
check my little emails, walk my dog. Just
That's sort of I relate to that, because that's like when you release something. If you're working on a project, James, you can relate to that too. You go
Entirely.
do your thing that you've been hyping up for so long, and then it's out, and then it's like this postpartum where you're like,
yeah.
what the
It's
fuck
wild.
do I do now?
It's wild how that
Yeah.
hits you, because like, you know, you go through like with Three Kings. I've been working on it since September, and now and then like literally I think 6 months exactly, and
Wow.
finishing it. But like, you know, the last like month when you're in post production, you're like, fuck, I can't wait to be done with this. And then it's finished, and then we did our screening, and then now I'm like, what next?
yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying, Brett, that you're like just trying to figure out what to do next. What is next?
I don't know.
Yeah, still figuring it
Well,
out.
thanks for coming on the podcast, man.
Hey guys, you guys take care. I'll see you later. It's weird because it was only it was only like a week ago, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's also
Wow.
that's also odd. It feels like it happened to me like a month ago, but it was only like a week
Well, your
ago.
face looks great.
Thank
you.
you.
Don't look beaten and bruised.
That's true. I
It's
had
the
one
makeup.
little yeah.
You have full hair and makeup done for the podcast.
Just total concealer. It's a little caked on. No, I had one little baby black eye, like a little tiny little like beep, a little beep.
Yeah.
But other than that,
Yeah.
it's nice. I didn't come home looking like
Dude,
Jared
so-
Leto in Fight Club or anything.
So take us back to when you were thinking about doing it, how you got involved in it, and what led up to that and that decision.
I was sort of asked to participate in it back before it was a thing, back when iDubbbz was trying to fight Rice Gum. And he was
wow.
he was like, what if there was an undercard to this fight. Would you be willing to fight in an undercard? And I was kind of like, okay, but it was very much not like, hey, well, let's do a huge event.
Yeah.
So it was kind of just a different vibe. And then he released that video, and then everyone was like, I want to fight. I want to fight. I want to fight. And I was like, this is real. This is real. This is really happening. And then, like, I got in a Zoom call one day, and then it was like fucking Harley from Epic Mealtime and a bunch of like real people. And I was like, this is escalated.
Yeah, Trump was there.
Quite quickly.
Yeah, that's right.
Quickly.
Yeah, he was doing his thing. He dropped out, of course.
Oh yeah,
but,
of course. His little hands couldn't hit anything.
He tested positive for roids.
He was mainlining everything, basically.
Dude, we just start to see, like, we don't know that Trump's like involved in it, but like in the news, we just start to see him like getting like bigger and bigger.
Yeah. His traps are just slowly.
He's going straight into the traps.
He was having outbursts of anger.
Yeah, my traps have shrank, I think, a little bit through this. So.
Yeah, so you got involved in it, and you lost some weight for this too, right? Because I'm sure you knew rather quickly once it became like a larger thing that you were going to have to get matched up against someone in a certain weight class, and things started getting official.
Yeah.
So you said yes to this thing. You were like, let's fucking go. It became super real. And then what? Then it was like, game on, let's get training? Or
yeah, pretty much. Just because you got to find a coach as soon as possible. You felt like every day was, like a lost day if you weren't finding something to do with it. And this was like,
right.
It was like the beginning of December, this maybe the end of November, until the holidays were coming. And I was just like, fuck, man, I can't like not be training before the holidays and then like lose, even the holidays. I didn't like go home for them. I kind of stayed here and tried to like keep working a little bit. But yeah, we all had to find coaches, and they really went out of their way to like help us find like professional coaches, just because it was like
really
important.
Cool. Oh, that's cool.
So you wouldn't like people who with no experience, like just hiring some guy who like lives in a van or something.
Yeah,
giving you, like,
especially because it's like
advice.
fighting. So like you want people to not just go in there and do whatever and then end up hurting themselves or hurting other people and shit. And it's like all in this big old event. You're just like, oh fuck, cut the stream.
Cut the cameras.
Yeah. And it was good too, because even the end result, there really wasn't, anybody on that level. And I think that easily could have been a risk,
Oh yeah, that seems like a massive, I didn't even think about that until right now. Like the liability in putting on an event like that is fucking huge. Yeah. Like they probably had so many lawyers.
Yeah.
Oh, they
at
had
least
to
one
sign all those contracts.
At least
they actually all got
one.
paid $1 million.
Yeah, they were the charity.
So you said yes, and then you hit the ground running. How long did you have to train until the event, and did that just become your entire life?
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like every day, all day. Like, did you do other shit? Were you still doing the other hustle, or?
Well, you can kind of. I guess you could decide how much you wanted to put into it. For me, I had like two coaches. I had one coach who was like teaching me like primarily like technique, and then I had another coach who also was teaching me technique, but we were like trying to like reshape my body from like big slow weightlifter to like fast
fucking shredded
boxer. Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, dude. I didn't see the end result of all that work until your post of the fight, and I was like,
monster.
He shrank.
Dude. Brett shredded.
No, you looked bigger. Like after seeing we've known you for so long that we've known you as fucking.
You've always
big boy
been
Brett, but you just looked like a monster, bro.
You look like Jake Gyllenhaal in that movie he did where he was the boxer.
Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Nightcrawler, just
you
anemic,
dude,
like super skinny Jake Gyllenhaal.
You look like
sociopath Jake Gyllenhaal, dude.
Bro, you look like $1 Million Baby, dude. It was unreal.
Dude, you look like fucking Thanos out there.
You really did look like Thanos, dude. It was crazy.
Thank you.
So you spent, you said 6 months training.
So it was like, it was like 5.5, whatever. But for me, I would do like Monday through Friday, usually like 2.5 hours to 3 hours every night. And then,
that's wild.
And then like weekends, you try to like do something on Saturday. And then sometimes they would force you to like take a day off. But I didn't really.
So by the end of it, did you feel prepared for the fight? Did you think like, oh man, I over-prepared, I under-prepared, feel just right? Like, were you like, I'm ready?
It's just, it sucks because it's never like a linear path, like because you are training so hard and there's like all these setbacks. So like I like sprained my ankle like 2 weeks before the fight, and I was
loser.
like, fuck me. I know, it's so pathetic.
That is brutal.
What a weakling. But I was like, so then I couldn't move on it. I was trying to take care of it so that I could like stand on it in the fight, but then like it means like cutting back on the cardio. So I was like more in shape before the fight and before that happened, but I what can you do, right? You have to just kind of like deal with it. So it's like a weird up and down winding road, and you have good days and bad days. And then you get there too in the week of the fight, they're like, take it easy. The worst thing you can do is like going hard the week of, and then you actually pull something right before the fight, and then it's just like, okay, you just wasted 5 months, you idiot.
Literally.
So
yeah.
But you've been like hardwired by that point that taking it easy all of a sudden, like right before the fight, feels like the worst thing on earth, right? You're like, no, this doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna be awful. And my coach, he's like a 3-time Golden Glove champ, so he had a lot of like real fight experience. So that when he would talk about things, at least I could just be like, okay, you're not. It's not theoretical for you, right?
Yeah. So I think you should be good.
Yeah. He actually learned it all in college,
but I don't know.
yeah.
He's
Say fight science. So
that's fucking crazy.
Yeah. So it's just weird. It was just crazy. So you get there, and then you just kind of have to be like, you have to trust, and they're like, okay, don't worry, you're ready because you've spent all this time, and you're like, okay, you're telling me I'm ready. I guess I'm ready. I don't know. So
did you expect there to be as many people there for it to be as large of an event as maybe you were told it was even going to be?
How big was it actually
when it got real?
So it was at Yingling Center in Tampa, which is like a 10,000 person arena. So
sold out.
Was it sold out?
Yeah, it was completely sold out.
That's
yeah.
Wild.
But
10,000 people arena.
That's
bro.
a super spreader event if I ever saw one.
Tampa, baby.
In fucking Florida. 10,000 people in the same room. Let's do it.
10,000 is cool because it's not like Staples Center big, but it's big, but it's kind of intimate, right? Like you can
still get to know everyone.
Yeah. If you dedicate yourself,
you can still do a meet and greet.
You can shake everybody's hand in about 4 hours.
Kiss them.
Kiss them, yep. Spend some time, tell a personal anecdote. So it was good. I'm glad it was that size. It was like perfect for this, I think, because the crowd could like chant things and you would kind of hear it, but it wasn't like so big that it was like you just get lost.
Fuck you, Brett. Fuck you, Brett.
Well, they would chant.
One guy you could hear.
And
Shut the fuck up.
That's just coming through all the noise in the arena. Fuck you, Brett.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't hear my coach in the corner. But that's like I think that's like a whole other thing. It's like when you're in like fighter mode or something. Like I
oh, interesting.
Like kind of tunnel vision.
You were actually fighting.
Yeah.
So,
For
I mean,
sure.
I feel like that's
there, though.
good.
Yeah.
Because you're focused.
Yeah. Well, good and bad. I probably would have liked to have heard anything my coach said, and only after the fact did I reflect on it. And I was like, bro, if you were talking to me, I have no idea. Did you say anything?
I just imagine him being like,
so,
go left, go left, go left,
yeah.
go left, go left, and you're
Yeah,
just like,
no, just
you're going right only.
Yeah.
So you get there, there's fucking 10,000 people here. You did expect it to be that big, or when you showed up, was it just like, oh fuck, it's all hitting, it's all getting real now?
It's just hard to say. I went through this weird thing where like I kept expecting to get like nervous, but because it seemed so alien, I was like permanently dissociated from it. So I went to the arena and I'm like, oh, it's this big? And I'm like, but that's okay because I'm not really about to fight. And then, you meet other people and you're like, oh, this is cool. We're just hanging out. But this is a dream I'm having. So like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's really like until you get in the ring and you look at the other person and you're like, oh, fuck.
And then it's just you and that guy, and these people are watching now just you.
Yeah.
And it's not just like they're here for everybody else. So I'm just dropping the bucket.
Yeah.
But you do have your moment when it's about you.
Yeah.
So that's got to be
your
a
brain
fucking
can't like rationalize it away. Like suddenly you're just like, oh, okay.
Do you know how much
Fucking
your opponent? Who's your opponent?
AB from the H3 podcast.
Heartthrob AB.
Heartthrob.
Yeah, he was the producer over there who like really ran the ship, and like he was a big personality on their pod too. He seems like a real sweetheart.
He is a
That's
sweetheart.
Cool. Well, that's why he lost. Do you know how hard he trained for it?
Well, so his coach knew my coach, and his coach was also like a real deal pro fighter. His name's Wale Lucky Boy Omotoso. I think I'm saying his name correctly.
That's definitely the name of a fighter.
Yeah, yes,
that's a fighter
is.
name.
He's like from Nigeria and escaped like gangs and shit. Like they call him Lucky Boy because he's like lucky to be alive, basically, based on his like background. So
fuck, that's the guy you want,
based
man.
on his perception.
yeah.
Damn.
Based on his perception, I on the other hand think it was easy for him to escape, and I could have done the same, if not better.
Dude, you gaslight him. His life story.
It's not that big of a deal,
yeah,
man.
people do that all the time. But he was he was really well trained, and so we knew that, you know, it was an interesting scenario where you just kind of know that like the caliber of training is going to be at least as good as yours, and so you kind of have to expect anything, even though like, you know, all the jokes at first obviously were like, you know, I posted like some picture of me looking like, you know, with like high key lighting, so I just look like a monster, and everyone's like, oh, you're gonna die. But it's like, you know, that's not that easy, obviously.
It doesn't really mean everything.
Yeah.
Unless it's an unfair matchup, which I think your fight wasn't.
Yeah.
It was unfair in the sense of you are just so animal, and he never was an animal in the beginning, so he had to kind of become his animal. So in that sense, I'm like, well, I always thought Brett was going to fucking destroy this guy. From the beginning, I always thought you were going to destroy him. But he really did. Watching it, he held his own really well. And
like you said, we did have to meet in the middle, because I was 205 when I started, and I dropped down to 186. And I think he was 170, and he went up to 183 or something. I think that's where he started. So yeah, we did our best to, you know, we knew
and you
the
can't
gap.
you can't gain 25 pounds of like muscle. So he probably gained half of that, if that, in muscle.
Most of
and
it
then
was
the rest
ice cream.
of it in fat, just to make weight.
Yeah.
Right, ice cream.
Yeah.
So like you had a strength advantage, and then it was just everything else, all natural talent, and how much you train, how hard you train.
Yeah,
but it seemed like he trained pretty hard as well.
Yeah,
you know?
no, he definitely did. And it's an interesting balance, just kind of, because you can like dissect it, whatever, right? Like neither thing is going to help you win a fight, but definitely it's like, okay, you're moving with new weight. It's easier to gain the weight in a sense, but it's not necessarily helping you as much as like, maybe it's harder to starve yourself, but like, okay, I'm moving faster. Yeah. So it's like, you know, you're just turning the little levers and knobs and shit, kind of like, okay.
You're EQing your body.
Yeah. Cut out the low end.
So, right when you started, actually, before you started fighting him, I just want to point out my favorite moment of the whole fucking event was Airsoft Fatty singing the national anthem. That was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. James, have I showed you it yet?
No, I don't know who that is.
Okay, so iDub did a documentary on him and stuff.
Oh, is that the Star Wars guy?
Yeah.
Oh,
the
that's
Star Wars guy,
amazing.
yes, he sung the national anthem, and he like
was it
fucked
amazing?
It up 4 times. Yeah, he stops. And he's
Sorry,
like,
line.
Let me try again. He literally is like, one more time. It was really sweet, and it was really endearing, and like it was just obviously super funny.
But on the third time, the entire arena all like are like, okay, we're gonna help you complete the national anthem, and so then like the entire arena starts singing it in unison to like complete the song. It was like more
and
patriotic.
He still fucked it up in the middle of that. He still fucked it up again the 4th time. He's like, he's like talking quietly, and you just hear everyone continue.
They just overpowered him.
One more time. Yeah, we're gonna do it again.
That's so funny.
At one point, he's like, if I fuck it up again, I'm gonna hand it to my friend. It was so endearing and so incredibly funny, and I can't wait for you to watch it, James. You're gonna be in tears.
Oh, amazing!
I love that guy so much. He seems like such a
that
sweetheart.
sounds like a really good start to the whole event, to just put everyone in a good mood, like good energy, like lighthearted, but just 100%. Like, you know, everyone like there, especially like everyone singing in unison, like just synced everyone up, and like.
Well, he did it before the iDubbbz and Dr. Mike. So it was before the final, like the headliner fight, essentially.
So never mind.
Oh, I see.
So,
I thought
so fuck it.
Did not provide a morale boost, but
when I saw it and it cuts to iDubbbz, dude, I was like, that went exactly how iDubbbz wanted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's exactly what he wanted from that.
Yeah.
But anyways, okay, so you get into the fucking ring and it's happening and you start fighting. What did you think about your opponent and his capabilities, like within the first minute of fighting? Were you feeling him out? Could you even really know?
Yeah.
Because everything you hear about what your coach said, the other coach says about him, and how hard he's training and he's posting, fucking probably means nothing until you're in the ring and you can actually feel how talented your opponent is. Or,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
no,
What was it like?
You're totally right. And a lot of the fights.
Yeah, you're actually totally right, Clay.
Thanks, James.
A lot of the fights, especially early on, you would see a lot of just kind of like there wasn't a feeling out process, right? Like people would just come out guns blazing in a lot of cases and just like fucking go hard. Whereas with like AB and I,
Which I don't really think is the move, except for in Dad's.
yeah.
Fuck, man.
Yeah, pros and cons. But for us, for sure, right. I think there was a mutual respect of like, okay, this is the first time I'm feeling your punch. This is the first time I'm seeing you move. You know, what
First
are you
time we're seeing each
operating
other
on?
naked.
Yep, your dick's flopping, my dick's flopping. It was just weird, you know, and you kind of instantly knew. Well, so like for me, there was a lot of stuff that like always worked well in sparring matches and stuff, but it's, you know, it's very different because no one you're sparring with, like in my case anyway,
kill you.
well, yeah, or is even training as much as you, right? So like you can spar people who have more experience than you, and I did a lot of that, but it's still a different calibration, kind of, you know. And so even with I get to him, and then like, you know, I have some things that normally I like, okay, I can rely on, and then he's kind of like prepared for them because he's also sparred the same caliber of people, and he's also been training at the same frequency, and so it was weird. It was like a weird kind of.
That's so interesting.
You know, when you
Just
fight like a
the
mirror
dynamic of
match
that.
almost. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you fought him, it was like the most difficult fight you've had yet.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Well,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
and you're not
that.
wearing headgear. You're not, so like punches feel totally different. And then yeah, like I did a couple things at the start where he like showed that he, you know, knew what he was doing, and like, you know, he slipped this jab and then went in for like a body jab, and I was just like, okay, this is going to be different than like what you picture. So it was cool.
Dude, that's so cool to
Did it
have
feel
feel like it's an evenly matched thing. Like I bet just like experiencing that and like being able to, you know, anticipate moves and then react to moves and know that they're doing that too, like sounds like such a just cool thing. I would love to get into fighting, dude. Maybe you can show me some moves.
You should. I
So did
I
it-
feel like your mentality would be good for it, you know?
Yeah, but my
It's-
eyes would be bad for it.
Oh, you're right.
'Cause
Yeah. Those eyes.
I don't know about boxing,
bro.
but at least for MMA, because Clay, Dylan does MMA, and I was talking to him.
No, I know. He and I remember he punched me in the face on set because we were shadow.
Oh
boxing.
yeah, that's so funny. No, he was saying
no.
like, I told him I was like, dude, yeah, I'd be so down to like get into fighting again, but my glasses. And
Yeah,
then he says
what would
something
you
about-
have to
That's
do?
no
Those
good.
like kinds that are like the visor kind that like have the
Yeah.
cord, you know what I mean?
Like goggles,
Yeah.
ski goggles?
Because contacts
No, I mean-
are just as bad, right? Like, I mean,
Because you're not allowed to wear contacts, right?
well, like, so Minx, you know, in the only female match, Minx, I think, got her contacts knocked out
Yeah, that's why
halfway through the
you're not
fight.
supposed to wear them.
Fuck.
And she was just like, all right, shape, I'm going to just keep swinging on the shape.
Yeah.
And she's awesome, but...
Did she wreck?
Yeah.
After that?
fight was
Yeah,
crazy.
she,
did, yeah.
she kept going. That did not stop her.
Yeah, I feel like if that were to happen to me
so-
like mid-fight, I would just enter like juggernaut mode. You know, because like,
Yeah,
what am I gonna
choice
do?
do you
That's pretty
have,
much
right?
what happened.
Yeah. What's the alternative?
Getting
Get punched
wrecked?
in the face?
Punching
Yeah.
a blind guy? You want to punch a blind guy? I would have to.
You better
I have
feel
to
bad
resort to
about
my,
that
my
hit.
verbal violence.
So
Make 'em feel
what was
bad.
it like? You know, did you experience an intimidation that you hadn't felt yet? Because I'm sure, you know, you build up intimidation in your head those 6 months, kind of watching what he's doing and stuff like that. Was it more intimidating seeing him in person and fighting in the fight beginning, or was it like, oh, I can handle this?
I think
You know what I
I think
mean?
it was just the aura of the moment where you're like, okay, the stakes are more real. There's not like I took a bad hit and there's somewhere I can like time out. There's the caliber of how the hits are going to hit you. Like when you get hit and there's no, you know, like headgear kind of mostly keeps you from like getting cuts and shit. Like that's its like main purpose. But the hits felt harder. I don't know if that was because of we were going harder. Or, you know, also the fact that I wasn't wearing a headgear, but like when he hit me on the chin with one at one point, and it's like, you're getting hit by shit like that where especially shit that like drops you for a second or makes you lose your footing for a second. You know what I mean? Like, those kinds of hits are where it's like a moment disappears out of time. Like you you don't even, you're not like, oh, that hurt. You're like, why am I dizzy? Oh, I just got hit by something. Fuck. You know what I mean? Like you're instantly a second forward.
Were you able to still collect yourself and be prepared for another hit when a moment like that happens?
Yeah.
Or,
well,
like, how do you collect yourself quick enough to still protect yourself or be offensive? Because that's something I noticed that you did that like a lot of people there didn't do. When you were getting hit, you were able to, iDubbbz did this really well too, still be offensive while taking hits.
Yeah.
Like that's something that a lot of people can't do, and you did that a lot. I noticed anyways.
Yeah.
And like how were you able to do that? Were you able to do it easily? You know?
For most of the other ones, it's like you've been hit before and you can kind of tank stuff. So there were definitely moments where we'd be catching each other but able to keep moving forward. The ones where we both fell, I think our footing was bad, first of all. In both of those moments, like we weren't 100% like grounded. And so like his in particular, I think he kind of like his a little slide because of his footing. Mine, I think I took a hard hit. And then in addition to that, I also was like, ooh. But like, I don't know, you're just used to some of those things. And then in the worst moments, like where you get hit and you almost like lose a second or you're dazed for a second, you just kind of like, you come to and you just have to, it's like, I don't know, it's almost just like instinct, I guess. Because I felt my body no longer having balance. And I was like, oh, if I don't move right now, okay, I'm going to see the ground coming towards me. So let me put my foot down and my hands. Okay. It's just weird. I don't know. It's, and time distortion is real, right? And even the like chronological order of the fight gets like scrambled. So I thought the hit that I took happened later. I had to ask my coach, like, okay, what happened? He's like, he hit you with a cross because you lowered your hand. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you for the context. It's just weird. It's like
you had to like piece it together.
Yeah, it's like it really is like nothing else, man. It's hard to until you do it, and then you're like, oh, okay,
I feel like
I
that
can talk about it.
like it's the adrenaline that causes that. Because like when
I
the
think you're
adrenaline's
right.
like super high in your body, you can like kind of black out or like spots black out in what you're doing. It happens to me every time I jerk off. My adrenaline's so high.
This guy fucking loses hours, dude.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do.
No, you are like 100% right.
Thank you. I'm right, by the way.
It's your turn. Hey. But the adrenaline, yeah, no, it's just, and then, you know, even after the fact, you know, you're still kind of riding high on it for a while, and then you're trying to like piece. It's kind of also a bit like doing mushrooms. You know how like you know, people have those experiences, and then you kind of unpack it after the fact, right? The next day or two.
And then it fades more and more with just these main kind of points standing out.
Yes, 100% the same kind of vibe. Where then I had the benefit of being able to watch it, right? Which, you know, be like, oh, weird. Okay, so this makes sense, or that was not realistic, or, you know. So even when you're watching a fight, what's weird for me is that the people's perception of watching the fight and thinking like, oh, well, this was the big moment and this was a big moment may not actually track with like the internal moments of the big fights, right? Like his biggest hit or my biggest hit were not, like he was saying to me, he's like, that hit where I lost my footing was not the hardest you hit me. You hit me harder in other moments, but like that was just a matter of the footing being there. And you know, I don't know. He hit me plenty of times, so I don't know. I don't know what the hardest hit was, but I was having to block a lot of stuff. But I definitely, you know, took some. So,
do you remember how many hits were landed for each of you?
No, although it was crazy that when we were watching some of the earlier fights while we were waiting, like in the green room, and then I saw that they would bring up those stats. They had stats that they were like, you know,
updating real time.
Yeah, like round to round. I was like, oh my God, this is like the real deal. You know, 28% of landed jabs. I was like, oh, sick.
Right.
So
crazy.
Yeah. What was your kill death ratio?
Yeah.
That was your KD.
Yeah, right.
Brett killed 5 other people that day.
5 and 1. He died once too.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, but yeah, I don't know.
And then you fucking won, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And then you fucking won, man.
Yeah.
You won in front of 10,000 people. Was that like, just tell me about that moment? What the fuck was that like, man? To win? Did you feel like you deserved it? You know, like what it feel like?
You're just so like, for our fight at least. I'm sure there's moments, right, where like if you had some kind of crazy Rocky moment, you know, and you threw an uppercut that landed perfectly and you knocked some guy out that you hated, then you'd have that moment of like, yeah. Mm-hmm. For us, you know, for us, like round 5,
it's over.
Yeah, we were just both like, you know, he was more gassed than me, which is what stopped the fight. But it was, you know, like we're tired, we're throwing stuff. You're barely it's like lizard brain mode, right? Where you're just reacting. They broke us apart at that point, and I was kind of like annoyed that we'd been pulled apart, or that, you know, we were in close, and then, you know, because every reset is like, let's reestablish
you gotta like start
everything.
the rhythm over and shit.
Yeah. So I think when I rewatched it, I look annoyed because I'm just like, fuck, okay, here we go again. But then I looked and I'm like, what? And the guy like waved it off, and I look around, I look at my cut man, and I'm like, huh? And I look for my coach, and I'm like trying to give like a thumbs up, like we're done. And they're like,
did I win?
Yeah. And then I was able to feel like relief, I think. And then, you know what I mean?
Relief.
Like I was proud, but it wasn't like I was like, fuck yeah, I did it. I was just like, oh, okay, good. Oh, they're raising my hand. Oh, you know. And then like chills came over to like interview me, and I'm just like blah 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 blah.
Chills?
Blah, 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 blah.
5. Yeah.
Now for the winner, it's
he was
Brett,
on
number
like,
15.
So tall.
That's wild, dude.
Yeah. That was cool to meet him for sure. So, so yeah, I don't know. It was cool. I was glad
that interview anywhere I can watch?
Yeah. I can send it to you.
Yeah.
Please. Do.
I'm glad that at least the last bit where I kind of like give AB credit, I'm glad I was like lucid enough to like talk and not just like a drooling idiot, because I started to go that direction. But
right.
Yeah.
But did you feel like you won, like when they were telling you won, or did you not really know? Like, could you tell by the end of the fight that you were winning?
I could tell that he was more gassed than me, but you know, we were, you know, we fought. Round 3 was like the big round for us, where like I knocked him down, and then he got back up. We fought a little bit, and then he knocked me down, and everyone was like going ape shit because there had been no trades that heavy, like the whole event.
Sick.
That round was fucking crazy. They both fucking like got knocked down. I remember being like, damn, that was such an important round, like such a memorable round.
Yeah. But then by round 5, you know, I was just like, well, yeah, he was gassing. I was trying to like go for the body more and stuff, but you know, I guess I felt like I won in the sense that they told me that I did, and I was like, okay, this tracks with reality. It wasn't like, you know, a total departure or anything, but it wasn't. It also isn't the same as when you like knock somebody down and see it happen and
like
look at them and you're
very
like,
decisive moment of victory.
Yeah. This was more like the ref being like, okay, you're no longer really answering my questions.
Yeah, the ref's like, all right, guys, it's getting boring.
Well, like,
it's getting boring, guys. Let's figure this
wrap
out.
it up.
He was like slumped up. You know, it's just so.
With the microphone, dude, just over the whole PA. Wrap it up.
The commentators.
The Oscars
all right, guys,
music,
let's wrap this up. Yeah, they start playing you off the stage, out of the ring with music. Dude, John Cena comes in. Just fucking John Cena. He comes in, F-U's both you guys.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So Brett,
I would have accepted
Have you
that.
watched it? Like, I'm sure you have. That's a stupid question. What's it like to watch the fucking fight?
Yeah, it's just like it's a bit like watching someone else, right? Like, just because it doesn't feel necessarily like how it felt in the ring. There's a couple connective points, but yeah, it's very strange. It's very disconnected, I think. I don't know if it's like well, I'm sure it's not like that. I was going to say, like, when you play a show or something and then you watch footage of the show, maybe it doesn't match how you necessarily felt, but I don't know.
I think it'll always feel like that because you're too close to the project, if that makes sense. Like, you'll always feel like that. You can't really watch it as a viewer when you're involved in it, at least a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like when anything I make, any YouTube video, any song I make, I can't listen to it like an audience member would listen to it. You're always a part of it, and you never like it as much as someone will like it. Or
that's very true. And I'm in a stage right now this may also be relatable, where I just like I'm very critical of my performance in a way that I wasn't. Like at first it was cool and it happened, but then you have enough people being like, "You were a beast, dude. You were awesome, dude." But then like you watch it, for like this time, and I'm like, "Oh, I was really slow there. Why didn't I remember this? I did this thing. What? Oh, why did I take that hit? That's so embarrassing." So that's where I'm at now, and it's just like you're like.
I mean, that's healthy. Like, obviously, don't let yourself go down that hole too hard. But it's good because that'll just like push you to be better.
Yeah.
And like, because if you left that being like, man, I'm the best fighter.
Yeah. 1-0.
There's no growth to be had.
1-0 and you quit.
And
perfect.
Is that technically an amateur fight or?
Yeah, it's an amateur.
Is that what
it's an exhibition. Amateur fight,
yeah.
I guess. Yeah. So.
Which brings me to my other question. Are you going to keep fighting? Do you want to keep doing this? Was it like just something bucket list?
Please say yes. Please say yes.
Well, it's like one of those things too, right? Where it's like you get a taste for all of it. So like it's like you're up in fucking Valhalla, right? And you're having the most exciting time. You come back to Earth. I thought, I was like, for sure I need like lots of time away from it before I'd want to do it again. But it's kind of like creepy how much it like gets in your head, and then you're like, okay, but if I was gonna do it again, well, what would I do differently? Okay, and then you know what I mean, it's like starts to snowball. So I mean,
it's something you focused on like 100% for like 6 months. It became habit, it became routine, you know what I mean? And like such a part of your life where you're like not even just like physically and shit, but mentally that's all you're thinking about. So it would be weird if you were like, nah, I'm over it. You know what I mean?
But I mean, as much as it would be weird, I also don't think that's weird because a lot of the people.
But as much
like
as you
Michael
don't think
Reed's
that's weird, I do think that's weird.
Right. There's other fighters in the Creator Clash who literally left that saying, I will never do this again. Yeah. Not for me, never again. Yeah. And that's why I asked that, because I was like, some of these people aren't fighters, never wanted to be fighters, did this because it was a big thing to be a part of and it would be challenging, and like literally that bucket list thing. And I think Brett just has that in him where, he could continue doing this if he wanted to keep doing it and be really great at it. Or some of these guys are like, most of these people are never going to fight again. You know what I mean? Like probably.
I think the environment too, like for me saying like, okay, would I fight again in Creator Clash versus like, am I going to start doing first of all, I'm 38, right? So I'd be like, okay, going off to like train in the Masters or something, but something like an age appropriate division or something. But like Creator Clash is such a unique thing where it's like, I'm not going to like my like, Mexican boxing gym up the street here where like I'd walk in and they'd be like, we're here to kill you. Like you're nothing to me versus like, okay, let's find another good matchup that can be mutual respect, whatever. There's an entertainment aspect of like, of being a part of like something cool versus like whatever. And that is appealing, right? Like that the fact that like this event raised like $1.3 million for charity. That's wild. Is wild, and awesome, and that's like so that makes it more of a motivation too, I think. So so I don't know. I would say I'm more open to it than I was a week ago, and I have creepy sensation that like it's moving that direction.
That you're gonna fight again.
Oh no, he's getting the hunger,
dude.
Yeah,
he's getting the hunger.
Yeah, the sword must be drawn again.
Okay, so this is what we wanted to ask you then. Will you fight James?
Both of you wanted to ask.
I only need 18 months to train.
Okay, perfect.
He only needs 18 months.
But you're only allowed to train for 6 months.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
If that, dude. If that.
And you're lucky to have that.
You have to stop training. You're lucky to have 6 months.
Yeah.
But this whole event, like, James, when you get the chance, like, just sit down and watch the whole thing. It's so fun to watch. It was
there's some good matches.
It really did the sport of boxing justice, as far as what it was being an exhibition type event. Because, like, the Jake Paul fights and all that shit, man, total disrespect to the sport. Total just
are they
absolute disrespect to the sport. Yeah, I mean, it was just they themselves make such a mockery of it. And I know that they're getting good, and that's awesome, and they're becoming really great fighters.
Do you mean like the shit talking aspect or like the spectacle of it? Because Jake Paul's a real boxer now at this point. Like I can't, you know what I mean? Like, but
you can't deny that. Totally. I think that it was how they decided to come into it was really disrespectful. Like I don't know. Like it's just like it. it wasn't classy, and I think that this event was way more classy. It was very respectful to the sport of boxing, and like I don't know, I do understand the showmanship that goes into Jake Paul and Logan Paul being fucking villains and like being like, I don't give a fuck, I'm gonna be an animal. 'Cause like you said, they've become at least Jake Paul like legitimately is a fantastic boxer now. Yeah. But so he's kind of like gaining respect, but like
they didn't approach it with humility because that's not the personality that they operate with, right? They came in like, I'm here to dominate. So that's I get what you're. I think I get what you're saying. Yeah.
And it was kind of like, who the fuck do you think you are? But you're right. Like to your point, like he's legitimately such a good boxer now that it's like.
I'm curious if he like, because also he's just simply getting older and growing up and maturing, at least hopefully. Yeah. I wonder if he now is taking it way more seriously, recognizing that was disrespectful, you know, and like now like trying to like earn his way to like being being considered an actual boxer and really like now respecting the sport, you know, because that would be really cool. That'd be very endearing. And I'm actually a big Jake Paul fan now because of that, because of my idea of that. Because of my.
But he's advocating. He's doing all this stuff like where he's.
Oh yeah, that's. Did you sit on
I tried to cross my legs and it went.
Oh fuck!
That is
popped it like a pimple, huh?
But he's like advocating for like like better wages for the fighters and stuff too. So I think he has like a healthy voice in there where it's like he's calling out Dana White. I mean the money that goes to the fighters versus the money that goes to these organizations is so crazy. So
Brett's like, I got nothing from this.
Well, they really did.
No, he got something. He got COVID.
Oh yeah.
Well, it was awesome that they paid for our training because it really is.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
That's
really expensive.
Well, also that's an investment because if they didn't do that, it probably would have been a lot worse of a show. A bunch of fucking YouTubers just like
swinging.
Yeah.
Literally fucking
just mosh pitting up there.
Yeah.
Dancing.
I have a question.
It would have been,
and I want to approach this in the least disrespectful way ever.
Don't say the thing that you were going to say earlier. The super like fucked up and just not PC thing you were going to say earlier.
Were there any fights that were like really bad and kind of funny because of how bad they were?
I don't think there were any that were bad. I don't think there were any bad fights in Creator Clash.
That's awesome.
I'll say that. I think there are fights where clearly one person dominates another person, but I don't think they were bad fights. You know what I mean? Like,
who did that? I want to know who the dominatrixes are.
The very first fight, Dad versus Matthew. Dude, he just fucking...
Dad versus Matthew? That sounds like a dad beating up his son.
I mean, it
was. It fucking was, bro. Like, he was just like, oh, I'm just getting absolutely fucking like...
like, hands down, just
totally...
What I love about Matt Watson is that...
hands up!
I think by the time, especially by the time the fight rolled around, he knew, and he was just like, like his opponent was so into it, like, I'm going to destroy you, da-da-da-da-da. And for Matt to be like, okay, I'm going to own this. I'm going to make good on my obligations. I mean, he had like balls to just go in there. And it's very one-sided, but to kind of know that it's going to be one-sided and still be like, all right, fuck it. Let's ride.
How did that matchup even happen?
Well, they are about the same size, but I think Dad came in with this narrative where like he was fighting to like, he had like a love interest who had died, and he was fighting to her honor, and he knew he was going to come in. And versus like Matt Watson, who was like, going to Ren Fair and enjoying his life, and you know what I mean? Like the fighter mentality is just operating from different places. I think sort of meet in the middle in that fight. And so when you watch the finished result, it's like, okay, well here is like Rocky's journey versus someone who was like, okay, this isn't the most important thing in my life to me at this moment. Yeah. I don't want to spoil any of the fights for James, so I don't want to say too much. But there are at least a couple where one fighter definitely has the competitive edge, I think, over, to put it.
There was a pretty crazy.
I mean, those are fun to watch, though.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think you're gonna really enjoy it, dude. Like, there was this fight that was just really entertaining to watch too. It was Harley from Epic Mealtime, the fucking giant.
Yeah.
He's 6'7".
Wow.
And it was this guy Ego Raptor, who's a really well-known YouTuber as well. And dude, Harley's just a monster. monster, bro. But it was a really fucking great fight. Like that was one I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. And then it happened. It was the same thing. It was like he really held his own, and like it kind of got called off too early. Were there any calls for other fights that you were like, oh, why'd that happen?
Well, it's so difficult, right? Because it's like for us, we're like, let the fight happen. And then I have to like remind myself, it's like, okay, the ref's job is not to be concerned with like, you know, the possibility of more entertainment. They're like, these are guys who have never fought before, who are going 5 rounds of, you know, like, and who may put themselves in a position to not protect themselves in the pursuit of victory or something they want, right? So there were like Aaron and his I don't want to spoil anything, but like people who maybe in the moment were like, oh, I could have kept going, I just lacked the ability to communicate clearly with the referee that, you know, because you're kind of drooling on yourself, and they're like, are you done, are you good, and you're like blah, blah, blah,
with your mouth guard.
yeah it's like, okay, so you know, I don't know. Yeah, there's definitely fights where you're like, ooh, well, what if, but that's like everything, right? So
there's a topic to this fight, James. I know you haven't seen it yet, and this isn't really a spoiler. Do you have any feelings? And if you don't even want to talk about this, I understand because you were involved in it. Mm-hmm. But Dr. Mike, and any of the potential disrespect he may have shown.
Yeah.
Do you have any feelings or thoughts on that? I know I do.
I don't know. I obviously had some strong opinions on it closer to the match, where I'm like, you know, like Ian's my friend. I'm like, oh, that's not cool. But like, you know, it's a crazy event. Shit happens. Maybe you want to give the benefit of the doubt, I guess. We're talking about a moment specifically where like, you know, typically...
Yeah, I'm literally trying to look up something so I can follow what the fuck you guys are talking about.
Controversy. Dr. Mike, controversy. It's like, the one of the points of contention is like, you know, normally you go and you touch gloves and there's kind of that moment of like respect. But then, you know, sometimes it's like someone will touch gloves and immediately throw something, right? And it's like, okay, is that sleazebag behavior if you're doing it on purpose, trying to get like a cheap shot in?
It looked like a cheap shot. Like it was really. When I saw that, I was immediately like, "What the fuck?" And to back it up, his whole persona or his whole angle was really cocky and shitty. Not in a, I'm putting on a character to play the like Harley kind of played that funny like cocky vibe, and he crushed it. He was so funny. Yeah. And you walk away loving him. And rooting for him, and also he rooting for Ego Raptor too. But this Dr. Mike guy just came off really disrespectful, and like then he immediately went for the touch and it fucking went for a clock on Ian, and it like my jaw dropped. I was
who
like,
did he fight?
You fucking
he did it twice.
Who did he fight?
iDubbbz. It was the main event.
Yeah, the main event. Yeah. And like, I don't know, Dr. Mike was having like some like poor winner shit the day after, where like they also did this thing where almost all the fights were 5 rounds of 2 minutes, but their fight was supposed to be 4 rounds of 3 minutes. But for whatever reason, the boxing commission just decided or forgot or didn't do something where like, even though they were fighting, they did 5 rounds of 2 minutes for them, but like they didn't tell them and they didn't realize it. So like rounds were ending early, and then they had an extra round they weren't expecting, and then, you know, Dr. Mike was like, well, this definitely played into iDubbbz's advantage. It's like, dude, you won. We don't have to get conspiracy theory and be like, oh, well, you know, this is something like, you know, like a bad faith reading of it.
That's even like after the fight, he was really disrespectful with the way he like talked about it, dude. Like, you just look over iDubbbz and like you're just reading this like, oh man, yeah, like he feels this and he is not fucking with how this is his fucking event. Like, have some respect. He put on this event for charity, brought you into this, gave you a platform.
Like, this isn't about you, homie.
Like that, bro. He made it.
Well, Dr. Mike's big. He doesn't need a platform, but I do think it's like getting that sweaty over like, you know, again, it's like a charity event. I don't know. I'm trying not to.
Yeah, you're not competing for I don't want you to. I know shot at the title, man. It's a.
A shot at the fucking title, dude. Yeah. It was rough. I was curious if that translated, and because I know I just watched it on stream today. Ian talked about it, and he didn't really go too in depth either. But you know, you could tell he was like, just trying to like, whatever, dude. If that's how you want to act, that's how you want to act. Like that was sort of Ian's public takeaway from that, you know. But it was rough, man, to watch that shit. But
yeah. And in the moment, it just doesn't feel good, but.
James, you're really gonna enjoy watching it. Like,
I'm actually
I was like
excited,
interested to see the people that I knew fight, but like having someone we fucking love be a part of it was like, I was like, that was my whole drive. I was so excited, and it was such.
I
a
honestly
great
probably wouldn't
time.
give a shit about it if Brett wasn't fighting in it, because then I have a reason to watch it, which will then encourage me to watch the rest of it.
Yeah.
So
watch. Yeah, never mind. I don't want to spoil anything. Never mind.
There's so many good fights. It was really great. The whole thing. There was I only like skipped a couple fights of people I just didn't know, and at that point I'm watching exhibitions of people I don't know, so I just didn't really care. So I watched like 80% of the fights, I think, because I knew
80% of each fight. You missed the end of every fight.
I watched just the last 20% of each fight.
I just want to see who wins.
I want to see who wins. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. But so proud of you, dude. What a cool fucking thing.
Thank you.
And now you're on the journey of what next? Do you have any ideas, or you're right in the middle of like going, what next?
It's kind of like a what next, I guess, because it's just like you want to make stuff, you know, even on YouTube, like your YouTube channel. It's like I'm sure everyone's just sick of the boxing narrative now, so I'm like, okay, so what should I do? Should I make a show about this, or go do this? You know,
You ever want to talk shop, man?
Struggle. When's your next vlog? That's what I want.
You ever want to talk shop, man? I'm actually editing it right now.
Right now.
Uh-oh.
Boink.
Let's
Bang.
go. Nice.
You just got knocked out, bitch.
He just got knocked out.
Surprise hook.
He's a champion, man. Please.
That's exciting. You guys, has it been a satisfying process? I feel like it must be, right? It's just like
it absolutely is, because of where we're both at in life and how we're approaching it. And in you know, in the beginning, you know, Steve was driving the ship, and Clay and I were there to be a part of it and contribute what we could. And then when it became more legitimate, you know, Clay and I had to step up and be more involved with the entire process of it all, you know? But so it feels like, I don't even know if it feels, or if I could think that it feels like how Steve must have felt at the beginning doing it, because I think Steve still had the intention of like making this a show that could also be successful, you know? And right now, at least for me, I'm literally doing it 100% like for me and Clay, you know, and just like having total fun with it. And like, I just showed him the intro of the video, and I did like another kind of intro to the intro, and I just came up with it like right before we got on this, and I was like, this is so funny and so stupid, because it makes it just like just doing it, fucking having fun. And also for me, like as a filmmaker, I'm just totally fucking flexing my muscles and like getting experience and experimenting with shit and having fun with it, you know. And it's the best feeling,
really
because there's no pressure, you know. Like we're just doing it when we want. There's absolutely no upload schedule.
When we want, how we want, and however the hell we want. It's really fun. And we're not monetizing it, so like there's just this, there's no like influence to like that drive of wanting to make YouTube, because when you're in this industry, everything you do, like there's a part of you that's like trying to figure out how to make this the biggest, most successful to fill your wallet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which,
and
I know that's a really crass way of saying that. I just mean fill your
but
wallet
at its core, that's very true.
To contribute to the growth of your business, which is what you're doing. Your YouTube channel is your business. It's your livelihood. And so everything you do, you're trying to make it the best it can be, you know, for that purpose, to grow that. And with this, it's like, this is purely a passion project. And I think maybe the tiniest bit is like, oh, well, maybe at very least some traffic might come back to the channel for the podcast and stuff, which is great.
True.
And we love the podcast now more than ever too. Like,
ever since we kicked Steve out.
We cucked Steve out.
We cucked Steve out of the podcast.
He's actually in the call. He has to listen to it.
We usurped him. But like, what the fuck was I gonna say? I'm getting mad.
Oh, not now.
We have some callers.
Let's go. We got some calls for you, bro.
No, but it's cool though. It's cool that
I said we have some callers.
He thought you were kidding.
Oh.
We actually do have some college, but no, what were we gonna say?
We do. But yeah, what were you gonna say?
Nah, just saying like it's nice that it's open format, right? It's like, I mean, a podcast is a podcast is a podcast, but like with the vlog, yeah, it's like, I mean, like literally any idea that you pop in or a thing you want to indulge, or I want to spend a bunch of time on this for no reason.
Literally for no reason. Like, I want to do this weird thing that like is gonna be so much work and so many hours for like 30 seconds of a 40-minute video where like I'm 100% gonna get the most enjoyment out of seeing that versus anyone else. This is what I was gonna say. The number one reason that we're doing it is for us, and the second reason is because obviously like our fans, we love our fans, you know, and the people that have stuck with us the whole time, and like it feels really good. Like when we put out the first episode of the new episode, just hearing like people being excited about that, you know, and like bringing joy to people's lives. And like, dude, fucking so many people were like, I was in high school, you know, when I was watching your guys' show, and now I'm in fucking or like now I just graduated college or whatever. My camera just died.
No.
And I'm gonna finish this point and then change my battery.
Wait. I thought it moved.
No, it's dead. They're like, and now I'm graduating college, and like, you know, that's just wild to like be a part of somebody like a stranger's life in a way like that during like formative years. Like, I don't know, man. You guys keep talking while I fix my fucking camera.
we kind of, it's like training a puppy when, you know what I mean? We trained all these people, right? You know what I'm talking about? You did the same thing, dude. Catch up, YouTube and stuff, man. We're training puppies out there, and they turned out to be good dogs. They turned out to be real good dogs, man.
I was wondering where that analogy was going, but I like that. Okay.
I didn't know where it was going. I just said it, you know. But dude, while he changed his thing, I just wanted to say I'm so proud of you, man, and what a cool journey. It's been so cool to watch you go through that journey and then see it all turn out, and like win or lose would have been an amazing thing, and to win is just like that's a cherry on top. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Dude. Yeah, of course, man. And I can't wait to fucking hang out and fucking hopefully we can kick it. If not this trip, I'll be back in a week or so. Okay. And we'll fucking kick it, dude.
Yeah, everybody's...
James, you still with us? He's dead. Go ahead.
He's
Sorry.
gone now. No, I was going to say, you guys are all out a bit further now, but so am I. So that'll be... We'll make a proper trip of it. I'm up north, and you guys are further west. So
are you still in LA north?
Yeah, or? yeah. But I'm like, you know, edge of the map, kind of. Not as bad as where Steve was before, but still pretty. You know.
Oh yeah, okay. So you're still there.
Yeah,
you're still there.
You know what I mean, though, right? It's like.
Are you still streaming and stuff too?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And
has there been like a nice little like increase of the viewership from people, you know, getting to see you and stuff like that on the Creator Clash?
A little bit, yeah. And I got to go on H3, which was cool, make a little appearance. But YouTube's just weird. That's the other thing too. Is like the ebbs and flows of your video. You'll have like you know, like, oh, I was in this big event, and then have like the smallest views on something just randomly that you're like, oh, okay, cool. So it doesn't matter ever.
They don't really care. Yeah. This was a game changer.
Yeah. But no,
it doesn't always have to be.
No, and it's good incentive just to, for me, I think the big thing was like, because I was around so many like creative people, especially at the event, you know, people like Harley, who I've watched, you know, as long as I've been on YouTube. That it was good. It was like a good motivator to be like, okay, cool.
It's like going to VidCon for the first time. You're like, oh my God, look at us all.
I got some work to do when I get
Coyote
home.
Peterson. Brave Wilderness.
Wow, Jordan Peterson's here.
Oh my God, Joel Osteen, the pastor.
They should both go to VidCon this year. That'd be epic.
Dude, yeah, that'd be fucking crazy. So we do have some callers, right, James? And
we have some callers, guys. So go ahead and watch that stream there, Brettley.
Okay, I'm watching your shared screen right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And thank you so much to our first caller. Let's hop right into it. Wow, that was absolutely just a fantastic point you just made, James. But this podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. Life can be overwhelming, and many people are burned out with even knowing it. Symptoms can include lack of motivation, feeling helpless or trapped, detachment, fatigue, and more. I think we all know truly how that feels. For me, burnout was something I very much so intensely struggled with after the Alternative Lifestyle show ended back in 2019. It took me 2 years to get back to a place where I even felt like I wanted to create again. And it's a thing that sometimes it's hard to recognize when you're experiencing it. And burnout can happen in all possible walks of life, with work, with creativity, with life in general. You kind of are just at a point where you're so overworked, you're not able to process anything, you're not able to experience anything, you're not able to see life, and be a part of life as it's happening. But the one good thing that I can tell you about burnout is that it will end eventually. We associate burnout with work, but that's not the only cause. Any of our roles in life can lead us to feeling burned out. And BetterHelp Online Therapy wants to remind you to prioritize yourself. Talking with someone can help you figure out what's causing stress in your life. During my big burnout phase, and it comes in waves, you'll have little times of burnout and you might have big times of burnout. But during my big burnout, I found a lot of help with therapy. Very grateful that I had my therapist that I could go to and really just talk about everything and, just getting it off your chest and being able to vent and get it out. So it's not all just in your head, bottled up and bouncing around. And getting it out of your head is the most important thing, because then you're not only comparing it with your own thoughts and your perspective on life. You're getting an outside perspective, or even saying it out loud can help you realize, oh, maybe it's not as bad as it seems, or, oh, now I can see this way out, or whatever. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Beyond the Pine listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/pine. That's BetterHelp.com/pine. Thank you so much, BetterHelp, for sponsoring the podcast. And you guys, take care of yourselves. You matter, okay? Your life matters. Show yourself some love. Show yourself some care. Try therapy. And have a blessed day.
Let's get right into the nudes.
Wait, I forgot to switch it.
It was working for me, I heard.
No, I didn't switch it in OBS. And okay, guys, we're back to the first caller. Let's go ahead and jump right into it.
First caller.
Hey boys, it's Melissa from Portland, Oregon, and first, Brett, your outfit for Creator Clash was the best one. It was my favorite.
Sick, dude.
And so I'm wondering, where did the inspiration come from for that? How did that happen? It's super cool. And Clay and James, my question for you is, if you ever participated in Creator Clash, what would you want your outfits to look like? Thanks.
Nipple tassels.
This is wild. This is a good mythical morning, man. You got people calling in the show now.
Yeah, that was a live call.
Fun,
we actually had her on the line for a while.
Amazing.
Twister, it destroyed her house.
Dude, so yeah, my question for Clay and James is, if you were in one of the worst natural disasters in history.
Bad timing. Damn.
Damn, so disrespectful to take off on us like that. So Brett, yeah, what was the inspiration for the fit, dude? It was the best fit. The tassels, baby.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
and
I
think that also like literally made you like look like a warrior. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Combined with your fucking beard and your fucking muscles.
Kissing you.
The guy who designed mine is this awesome designer named Future. He's on Instagram as I Got My Own Back. But he's designed stuff for like Canelo, Jake Paul, a bunch of people. He did iDubbbz's robe, Dad's outfit, mine, and Minx's.
Cool.
And I don't know. I was just like,
playing favorites. I love that.
Oh yeah, okay.
Picking favorites. I love that.
I just wanted to do some stuff that other people weren't doing. I liked the poncho idea because no one else was doing it. I wanted the tassels because I hadn't seen anybody else talk about it yet. So. And then he just took my logo, and I thought that was going to be really cringe to have like the Muscle Party like wolf, but he fucking killed it, turned it into something. So that was.
Can I have it?
Yeah.
The shorts?
The shorts.
Do you mind if I have them?
Yeah, are they gonna fit?
I just want to have them.
Okay.
See what they smell like. I don't know.
He's just gonna leave them on the floor in his room. Don't give him to him.
Yeah.
That's so sick. Yeah, your fit looks so good. Dude. And I would just say
Thank
I
you.
would do nipple tassels. I would really do nipple tassels because there would have to be some sort of element of comedy to it.
And also, I
do
think
nipple
that you would
tassels.
psych out your opponent, unless your
Yeah.
opponent was me, in which case you could never psych me out.
I psych you out all the time, man. You don't even understand, dude. I'm controlling your mind up constantly.
You don't even understand, dude. I'm not even your real friend. This has all been
I'm a
for a
robot.
joke.
It's all been for a joke. Just a 4-year joke.
Damn.
James, what would yours look like, bud?
I have
What would
two
yours look like?
options. First option, a wrestling singlet. Got to take it back to my roots, baby.
You
Varsity
boxed in
wrestling.
it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Frog City Wrestling. Frog City, New York Wrestling.
New York pizza wrestling.
James had a fight club
Dude,
in the back.
I
of a
know. I'm
pizzeria, but it was
sponsored by
for
a
wrestling.
pizzeria.
That would be cool. That would be really cool.
New York City.
And then,
Slices.
so that's my first option. My second option, and I might actually do an outfit change mid-fight, would be purple shorts
wardrobe.
and those Hulk hands that go over your hands.
Yeah. Dude, I would have little knives on mine so I fuck you up.
Wow. Two bold choices for the boxing commission. to
I'd sneak in a
consider.
weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta win.
like
You gotta win. You know,
You could.
it's all about
Dude,
winning.
it would be
Why
so
else would
funny.
you fight? It's all
We were-
about winning.
That's right.
We were talking about this. The funniest thing ever would be if James and I were to fight and Steve was to ref, and then in the middle of the fight, we turn and just beat the shit out of Steve, and then the ref raises both of our hands.
Yeah, and the crowd's like, kill him, kill him.
After you beat him up, he still raises both of your hands.
Yeah.
He gets up, beat him bloodied, and raises both of our hands.
He raises our hands. Oh, that's so funny.
Oh shit!
I think we have another caller, don't we, James?
Yeah.
Oh, let's
That is
go.
for sure.
I'm hearing dinner bells
Oh,
ring.
fuck. Speaking of dinner, I have a second Shake Shack burger, and I'm very looking forward to it.
Not now, dude.
Okay, and our next caller. Thanks so much for hanging in there. Let's hop right into it.
Hop right into the news.
Are you hearing it?
No, you don't have it up. You're sharing the old one.
Okay, and we got another caller. Let's jump right into it.
Still, nope, nothing yet. There it is.
Hey, Brett. I heard you're a little victory guy. You won your little boxing match. Your
little-
match. My question
Your little
is,
play boxing match.
what are you doing now that Cow Chop has sort of dissolved during
Jesus,
COVID
man,
and
this guy's
stuff?
a
What
little
what is
cuckold.
your plans in the future creatively? Yeah, that's my question. See you guys.
That was the most condescending.
Dude, yeah, he
Champ
came at you with
was-
some energy there.
It's, you know what it is. Here's what it is, real quick. To we all know this guy's just trying to be one of the boys,
Yeah,
and
that's
you know
true.
he thinks he's got to hang with the big dogs. He's got to bark. You don't got to
Hey,
bark,
Brett,
man.
you
can
little
say,
fucking
"I
loser.
fucking
How's
love
your
you."
little dumbass fucking fight, yeah?
Yeah. Listen, man, you can come in here and be like, I'm such a big fan. You can do that. You don't have to do the thing. Show some
That
respect.
reminds
This is
me
Victory
of
Royale.
when we were at RTX Sydney. During our panel, we basically just made it a big Q&A thing because we didn't fucking plan a panel. And
Never could. Never
never
could
could,
happen.
never did, never will. And so we were just doing a Q&A the entire time, and we brought a fan on stage, and he came up and took my hat off and put it on and sat down, and
remember
I
that.
immediately
Oh,
was
no.
like, hey,
Assault! Kaya!
hitting a minor. I call it hitting a minor.
I remember that.
But it's that same thing where it's like-
yikes.
You think you know me? You don't know.
Also, well, he was like, so now that Cow Chop's over, motherfucker, Cow Chop ended in 2019.
In
What do you think I've been doing for
2005.
2 fucking years? Hello? Oh, so what are you going to do with your time? What, for the last 2 years? What have I been doing? Getting COVID, that's what.
What have I been doing?
We still love you.
If you're not aware, I have a YouTube channel called Muscle Party.
Muscle
And-
party,
Go watch it, go watch it.
muscle
You can
party.
come on by it.
Fucking awesome.
You know, we got a little box you can watch.
You ever need any
the,
more muscles on
behind the
that?
scenes. I do. Ooh, there you go.
Or these.
Ooh, Two lean patties right there.
Two lean, little, tiny smash patties there.
No, they're not
Hey, what do you
tiny.
think, Brett? Smash or pass?
Oh, that's a smash. Is that a fart sound?
But anyways, Brett, whatever the guy said.
Yeah, thank you, caller. Appreciate you.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much,
everything.
Caller.
Thank you for being a friend.
Did he say anything else? Was there anything else he was asking?
What
We still love
what
you,
you're
Colin. We
doing?
still love you. We understand what you're doing.
Or like
We
what you're
understand
doing creatively, but you answer that question.
Yeah.
We did answer that. We did talk about that. We love you. We appreciate. We know what you're doing, but
Yeah, we love you.
you can be a friend.
Sometimes you need to.
Friend.
Sometimes you need to be humbled.
Read the room. Sometimes read the room.
Read the room.
Sometimes read the room. That's all. Oh man.
Wait, hold on. We
I
have another
love-
caller.
I lo-
Oh,
Oh,
fuck! We're getting another caller.
Hey, bro. What's up, boys? First time.
Hi, bro.
Hello.
This question is
First time.
for Brett. I was wondering, when compared to creative bouts and things that you've tried to or have accomplished creatively, how does that compare to the preparation and the accomplishment of the fight? Do you get the same kind of self-satisfaction from committing yourself to a creative project as you do to something that requires a lot of physical energy? Or would you even call that perhaps a creative journey in its own right? Happiness.
I thought he was gonna say
I like this
happy
guy.
anniversary.
Wow, what a good question. I don't know. It's so tough. I'm trying to think of the last time that I spent 6 months working on something. It's been a while, I think, right? I haven't made any like short film. Like you said, yours was about 6 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I should probably find some sort of project like that in my life. But YouTube hasn't. I don't know. It's been a while since I've devoted that much time, like a length of ongoing time to something, rather than just like, okay, here's an idea, let me just jump on it. It's definitely a different kind of thing. Is it weird to say that I feel like the victory for me is more, like I feel more disconnected from it? Like obviously I did the work and I put in the time, but it, in a weird way, it feels different to me than if I worked really hard in a video and then I showed you the video, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be like, if you loved or hated the video, I would be like, oh, okay, that's a very direct line. Whereas like in the fight, I guess I still could have gotten my ass kicked and maybe I could still be proud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it feels a little different. Like I'm glad I won because I made my coach proud and the people who like put their time and effort into it. But I feel sort of less directly responsible than like if I edited a video or like, worked on like a short film or something, which doesn't really make any sense.
No,
but that's just how it feels.
That actually kind of does make sense. Like not saying that one is better than the other, but I feel like, and also not saying that you like obviously you put in so much fucking effort and time into it, but I guess I don't even know what I'm trying to say because I think I just simply understand you, but I also can't put it into words.
I know what you mean too. Like
I'll take that.
Like when you edit a video, you do something where you have the entire control of the outcome. Where this one, it's like you could put in all that effort, all that time, night and day, and then still you didn't have control with if you succeeded or not at all.
Yeah. There's like so many variables that are beyond your ability to really, So it's it is weird. It's just like I experienced it, but it was different.
It happened to you.
I feel like also
Yeah.
you're in a, and I've felt this way too after Three Kings, and Three Kings isn't like over, like now we're beginning the next phase of like festivals and stuff with that project. So like it's not like we're done, okay, fuck it, forget it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But right after the screening, it was like this kind of just like like period of like you're almost not in shock, but you're just like, I don't know. It's very hard to put into words. It's like the aftermath of just like a big thing. It's like in a movie, why the movie ends at a climax, because like the things that happen after a climax are boring because life just continues. You know what I mean? You don't have this like hunger and this drive and this thing that you're working towards and this big like triumphant moment. Like we did the fucking screening. It was so awesome. Like, you know, and like, but then like the next day you woke up hungover and, you know, oh fuck, I got to go to work tomorrow, you know? And then like going to Hawaii too, where I like had my phone on do not disturb and like was just like really relaxing. But then
texting you a bunch.
Yeah. But then like that first week that I was in Hawaii, I was like really relaxing. The second week I like was very strongly hit with like, you can't stop now. You can't like, you know what I mean? Like you have so much that you want to do and you're finally at a place where like you have the skills and the drive to do that. And then like all these ideas and like I was writing down my list of all this shit to do. And so like I was able to catch that. But I also think that it's important to not worry about that right now and like let some things process, you know what I mean? And like, cause you know, it seems like you're still like unsure kind of how you feel about the whole thing, not in a good or bad way, just in a kind of like neutral, like, I don't know, should I feel this way or should I feel that way? Kind of like you're just in limbo with it. Because I think that means that you just need some more processing, you know? Yeah. Some more processing power.
Yeah, I need some more RAM.
At very least, there is a way to on paper, you know, measure whether you succeeded or not. You know what I mean? Like, and it doesn't even actually mean it because I don't think any of the losers didn't succeed. I think succeeding, even at the baseline, was just doing it.
Yeah. Committing yourself like, to that for 6 months, like.
And then you have that one more thing that is like, well, yeah, I did it. That was the fucking victory. But then I won too. So at least you can go through this processing and figure out how you feel about it, but still always look back and be like, yeah, like I not only did I do it, like I fucking won. You know, like that's huge, bro. That like that's so cool. Like that's like I said, it's a cherry on top, but it's an important one, and it's one that I think that I hope that resonates for you or will one day in a way that makes you really proud of yourself beyond the just doing it, because it's an additional thing that you get to experience that like half of the people there don't, which. You really, you know, like you worked for it and you deserved it, you know?
Dude, I know what the next short film I'm going to make is.
The Fighter.
A biopic.
Brett the Fighter.
On Brett. Just for the last 6 months. And
low-key, I'd watch the shit out of that, dude.
That's kind of sick.
Brett?
I'm excited that you're entering festival season. That must be nice, too, because it's like I feel like in that scenario... For me, I think I would be excited because it'd be like if I could keep reliving the fight night, by going to like, oh, we got into this festival, sick. Let me experience that audience.
Yeah.
Like that's really special.
I'm very excited about it. I just wish I had more fucking, you know, when you get so fucking busy, but like in the best way, where you're like, I just wish there was more fucking time in the day because like I like how busy I am, but I simply cannot. I don't have the headspace to be like thinking about all these different things and working on all these different things all the time, you know? But I'm very excited for the festivals. More so because, well, no, not more so, but just like one of the main things about the festivals I'm excited about, at least in like the researching phase of it, is like, I want to know what festivals don't give a shit that we can post it online. Cause like, I want to put that shit on YouTube and like show the world, you know, because we had everyone who came to the screening, and then we had like everyone else who had the virtual screening where we sent them a screener, but like there's still so many people that are like, is there anywhere I can watch it? And I'm like, I fucking wish.
No.
Please God, I want to put it out there more than anything. But I just we need to find out, you know, if there's any festivals that are going to be like, you know, look down on that and like not consider us.
This is what you're going to do.
Yeah.
You're going to put up an ad. You're going to make a billboard with your phone number. And anyone that calls you can pay you $5 or $10 for a private ticket. They can Venmo you.
For a private show.
Have a number they can just watch it digitally. And then forever it's available for you to rent directly from you.
Dude, imagine making a living off of that.
That'd be so wild. You directly control the rentals.
Yeah.
Directly to my phone. Oh, hold on. Got a big rental.
Big rental.
He wants me to rewind.
One
hold
rental.
On, hold on.
Dude, yeah,
it's a stream to my phone, and I'm. Oh, hold on. Hold on, we're buffering.
Could you pause it? I gotta go to the bathroom. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
There's a lot of people watching, man.
Well, Brett, dude,
part of me,
thank you, man. Thank you. Okay,
part of
you
me
go,
wants
you
to just put it up for like a week and then private it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know, because you don't want to wait too long, because there's still hype and everything as far as it being fresh on people's minds. Just make sure that doesn't hurt you. If you determine that
There
won't hurt
would be
any
no
of the
way
chances
of knowing because
festivals,
they would simply, like, I don't even know if they check, or how they check. But I know if it's like living on YouTube and it has like 200,000 views or something, like,
yeah.
they're
You can put it up unlisted and then tweet about it and stuff like that, so people can go watch it who want to watch it.
Ooh.
And then it's just not in an algorithm.
It would feel so bad
That's
to
a great
private
idea.
it. You start seeing the views on it though, and then you're like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
That would feel awful.
I don't care about the views
That's
on
true.
it at all. Like obviously, if it.
But it's like your
but
little
like with the
baby
short
though.
film-
Everyone's loving it, and then you're like, I gotta put the baby in the closet until
Yeah,
festival
yeah.
season's
No,
over.
for sure.
you know?
And that's the most annoying thing
He opens the
about
door.
like
Baby's dead.
being a filmmaker. Baby got deleted.
Oh no.
I have so many fucking backups of so many different versions and so many project files and the footage. There's no way that this is going anywhere, dude. But
That's good.
yeah, like obviously, I think that there is a world on YouTube for short films to do well. I have a couple friends, actually, Clay. Andy's short film, the one in the house that we showed, the horror one, where there's like the
Yeah.
girl.
Crazy.
That one's on YouTube. It has like 300K views. Like it,
That's dope.
there's definitely like a market for that on YouTube. Like
Especially horror.
high produced
like,
short films. Yeah.
Yes.
So
yes.
in that sense,
iPhone short films,
iPhone short films,
the new iPhone 5 update Max.
the new iPhone 5 update. But yeah, Brett, if you ever want to work on anything or develop anything or fucking shoot the shit about shit, I'm in such a creative zone that I would show up 100% for you. And I would love that.
Okay.
And if you'd ever want to be involved on anything I'm working on in like a producer
Absolutely,
capacity
yeah.
or like if that's even what you would want to do, like I would be so down, dude.
I would just love to trade some creative energy. I'd love to talk to you
Yeah.
about your film. Maybe that'll inspire me to do something similar.
Dude, I'll tell you this. It's so
that sounds-
fucking possible.
Yeah.
That's the coolest part that I got from this is that it's so possible, which
Yeah.
is wild. I think that and you know what? I think this is the moment right now, literally, that I just realized that massive truth that like it's so possible to do something like that and create something that you've
Yeah.
dreamed of, you know?
Yeah. That'd be awesome. That sounds great.
Wow, that'd be awesome.
And I want to fight you next, Brett. I want to be the next challenger.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Can I be your
We have
coach?
much to think about.
I'm just saying, dude. I think we could make a good matchup.
Can I be your coach?
Yeah, you can be my coach.
Look at him faint. Look at him faint through the screen.
Look at him faint. Plays dead.
I think I changed my mind about that. I changed my mind. But Brett, I'm so grateful that you came on, and I was
Hey,
so
thank you
looking
so
forward
much.
to hearing about your journeys, dude. And if we can't kick it this time, I'm gonna be back out in a week or so to work on a music video with James.
Okay.
So we'll be kicking it then.
Yeah,
But
that sounds good. I'll be COVID free by then, hopefully.
If you're
so.
feeling good this
Yes.
weekend and you're testing negative, let's get some fucking
just-
food, dude.
testing negative.
And you're testing negative.
Perfect.
No, I would love to get some fucking delicious food and get some drinkies, and we'll invite Stink Boy Steve.
Yeah.
Sweeties. Sounds
Think
good to
I see
me.
it.
Okay.
Well, thanks for coming on, dude. We love
Love you,
you.
baby.
We appreciate you. Wish you the best,
love
guys.
you
Go
too.
check out Muscle Party. Go watch the fight if you haven't already, and donate to the charities that they're donating.
Yeah, you
to
can
there.
watch it if you haven't seen Creator Clash and you want to watch it. You can watch it for free on iDubbbz's channel. He put the
That's
whole
what I'm
thing up,
loving.
so
I'm loving that one.
Yeah.
Go
Fuck
forth,
yeah.
enjoy.
Take care, my boy.
Thanks,
Feel better.
boys.
Thank you, dude. We'll
Thank
see you
you.
next time.